Okay guys, so here's a craft we're gonna do. It's super easy. It's gonna end up looking like this. It's basically just stacked books. If you're a book lover and you hate people ripping books, look away. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take off the covers and the backs. Well, actually, the first thing you're going to do is find 3 books that are fairly, like similar. You can either do ones that are the same size and stack them up, or like this one that I did, they're a little bit, it's like bigger, smaller on top, so you could also do it that way. It's totally up to you, and I guess it's up to whatever books you have. So you're going to do it like this. You're going to take off the pages. If there's like an inside cover page, you want to take that one off too. Like that. Okay. And then those are going to be all thrown out. So now we have 3 books. And you're going to decide which one goes on top. I'm going to do this one because it's going to be easier. And now we're going to paint. Okay, so here's the paint that we're going to use. I'm hoping you can see that. It's just the Rust-Oleum chalked in linen white. It's my favorite paint that I use for everything. We're gonna give it a little stir. So sometimes I'll pour it into like on a paper plate and I'll use it like that, but today I'm just gonna use it right out of the tin. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna just paint the spine. We're gonna paint the spine. I'm gonna try not to get too much. We're going to do 2 coats, and we're going to paint the first page only of the top book. The other ones aren't going to matter. But this one you'll be able to see this one, so you want to make sure that you paint that one. Okay, so we're going to do a coat. We're going to put it aside and let it dry. Oh, we definitely don't want to get Jay's hat with white paint on it. Do you want to grab that for me, babe? Okay, and then you're just going to do the same to all the rest. You're just going to paint the spines. Thank you. Painting the spines, making sure, oops, they're not dripping. Probably best to not let them drip, so paint the spine, let it rest. I don't know, paint the spine. Less is more. Okay, we're gonna let those dry and then we're gonna come back and do a second coat. Okay, so step 2 is just doing a second coat of paint. It's really simple. That one actually looks pretty good, like I almost didn't need to do a second coat on it. And then the top one, you're gonna wanna just make sure, like, do you see how you can see some of the writing on there still? We're gonna just cover that all up. And then we're gonna also just do the spine. Okay, voila, and that's it. And then we'll go to the second part. So now I'm gonna get these ready to put the words on. So I'm just checking to see how big each one is to know how big my stencil is going to be. So it looks like these ones are bigger than most. They're thick. They're about a little less than an inch. Okay, so now I'm going to make the little labels for the sides of my books. Now I'm going to use my Cricut machine because I love it. If you don't have a Cricut machine, it's okay. You can stencil them on, you can hand paint them, you can use stickers, letter stickers, and do them that way. There's a lot of ways that you can do it without having a Cricut machine. I'm also thinking that I might do some of these, like do some groups together of sayings and maybe sell them for like $5 or something with the transfer paper if people want to have them done in a specific type. So this is the Cricut machine. I'm gonna load it and it's gonna do its thing. Here it goes. It says it's preparing it. So for those of you who were wondering what a Cricut is, that I was so excited to have, this is it. So it's cutting out my vinyl. So now we're going to do the weeding and the removal of the extra vinyl. So here I'm just going to pull off all the outside vinyl, and then I'm going to go in and you can see there's some little pieces that are left, and I'm going to go in and take those out. So this is just a little tool that I have that I got for specifically for Cricut, and we're just going to go in and pull all those little pieces out. So now all the little pieces are gone and you can see the words are formed. So we're going to take a piece of transfer tape that this is. Now this is a strong grip transfer tape. I usually use a medium grip, but I ran out, so I'm going to use the strong one. But because it's strong, I'm going to put it on my hand and just kind of dirty it up a little bit so that it doesn't stick as much to the books when we go to put the words on the books. So here I'm just going to put them on, and you just lay the transfer tape over the words. Make sure there are no bubbles, just taking the bubbles out, and they look good. So now I'm going to flip it over so that it doesn't curl, and I'm going to take off the mat. And then we're going to just cut out each of the sayings, the ones that we're going to put on the books. And that'll make it just a little bit easier when we go to transfer them because they'll be smaller and they'll fit well on the spines. So we're just going to cut all these out and then I'll show you how to put them on the books. So now we have all of the words cut out and I just have to decide which ones I'm going to use for this project. So I don't know if you can tell, but I do have different books here. I'm actually making a bunch at the same time and I grabbed these ones. They're not the same, they're different sizes, but it gives you an idea how you can do different sizes. So I've decided I'm going to use the "You Are Loved Always" quote, and I'm just going to turn the books upside down. Make sure you have decided where you're going to place them. So these ones I'm going to do right aligned on the book. And then you just take them off the transfer paper, put them on your book. You're just transferring basically a sticker. And then I just run over it with the little spatula that I have. You can also use a credit card or anything really, any kind of card. And you're just going to do it so that you get the words to stick to the spine. So eventually we're going to pull off that transfer tape. And then here I'll pull it off. And then the letters are going to stick. Now, sometimes, because this is a strong transfer tape, the letters are sticking to the transfer tape and not to the book. But basically, if you just go over it and rub it harder, it'll definitely come off. And you just have to sort of play with it. You can pull it at different angles. You can try and hold it down. It will eventually come off and it'll stick to the book. So now these are all done and placed on, and it's time to decorate the books. So once you have them together, you could glue them together. It will stop them from moving around when you're decorating. Um, I wish I had done it this time, and I do for the next books that I do, but I just didn't this time. So anyways, I'm using this buffalo check ribbon that I got. I love it. It's one of my favorite ribbons, and it's in a huge roll. So I'm just measuring it and then cutting it, figuring out how long I want it. Um, I do want to, I think I want to do a bow, so hopefully give myself enough. But this is the ribbon. I got it at Michael's. It was $19.99, but of course you don't buy anything at Michael's full price. So they were actually having a 60% off sale at the end of Christmas, so that's when I got it. So now I'm just going to tie this in a knot so that it stays and holds the books down and solid so they don't move around. And then, I don't know, maybe a bow. Let's see, this is the fun part. This is where you get to decide sort of what you want to do. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to do a bow on this, but I'm going to put the rope, the sisal rope on it first. So this one I want to wrap around a couple times, and then I'll just maybe tie it in a knot, maybe tie it in a bow. Let's see what a bow looks like. So I think probably I want to do the buffalo check in a bow. So let's just see. Maybe I'll do a double bow once I tie this in a knot, just to also make it super secure. Let's see what maybe a double bow would look like. Yeah, and this buffalo check ribbon isn't long enough to tie it in a bow, so I think I'm gonna just loop it through the rope and then tie the rope around it, and that will make my bow. And then I won't have to use as much as the ribbon. You know, we all make mistakes. Didn't cut it long enough. It's about adjusting. So there, I made the bow. So I'm just going to cut these ends off. And now I have to decide, oh yeah, I'm going to cut the ribbon ends. You want them to look nice. So this is just an easy way to get that. And you could cut it on an angle, or you can cut it like this, whatever you prefer. So now I'm just zhuzhing up the bow, making it a little fluffier, and I need to decide what greenery am I going to put on, because I love adding greenery. It just makes it that much nicer. So I think I'm going to do the boxwood. So I'm going to tuck that underneath. You could also glue it. I didn't have my glue gun on when I was making the video, so I didn't glue it, but in the end I will. So this is funny. This piece was sticking up. It was driving me nuts. So I just cut it off. And so here we are. It's all done. This can go on a mantle. It can go part of a vignette. I just love these. They're so cute and so easy.